that that was the only opportunity he had. He did take it. I gave him some little tips. I gave him a little bit of information on how to get over, if you will, as a ring announcer. And to his credit, he took those tips and he took those suggestions and he applied them. And quite frankly, he became quite a good ring announcer in the end. He got over with you guys. He made a connection with the fans, and that's the #1 priority of any wrestling fan, of any performer, whether it's ring announcer, wrestler, whatever the case may be. That's the #1 priority. Make a connection with the fans and make them want to come out to events. His role increased after the first show. He wanted to do more, and I embraced that. I saw he had passion. I saw that he generally wanted to contribute more to WrestleCenter, and I encouraged that. And he became our social media guy. He became the guy who was making our posters, graphics for Voltage, whatever the case may be. And again, he started out a little rocky. It was something new to him, but again, I gave him some tips. I gave him some suggestions. And again, he applied those, and he actually got quite good at it. The issue became that as he got better at these things, in my opinion, he got a little bit more cocky to what I was saying. He didn't want to take the suggestions anymore. He felt like he was above any suggestion that I could make. And that becomes a problem because he was, and I want to make sure I make this clear, he was a paid employee of mine.
You can't hear?
I paid him money for a service that he provided to WrestleCenter to make the product better. And that's important to note because as things went on, I started making suggestions on posters. I wanted them to alter this, that, whatever the case may be. I wanted him to change a little bit what he was doing, ring announcing. And although he eventually did do those things, it was met with resistance. And my #1 priority has to be with WrestleCenter. And that's because if there is no WrestleCenter, there is no me, there's no place for the wrestlers to work, and there is no show for the fans, such as yourself, to come out and see. That is my #1 priority, to ensure WrestleCenter is a successful wrestling company in Halifax and beyond. Now, what's really disconcerting to this whole situation is less than 2 weeks ago, David Boyce approached me about potentially working for a competitor of mine here in Atlanta, Canada. I told him that that would be a conflict of interest because in the position that David Boyce had with me in WrestleCenter, he was privy to information that no one else was privy to. He knew who was coming in on future shows. He understood storylines because he had to make the graphics and he wanted to work ahead. And I told him information that, quite frankly, I would tell next to no one else. No one would know, including the workers. And to me, that's a conflict of interest. If you want to work for a competitor, knowing this information, it would be tough to be objective in that situation to each company. And that was my opinion, and I was firm on that. And he made the argument that, well, I allow the wrestlers to work both companies, which is true. I do allow that. But in a situation of his where he was privy to such information that could potentially damage WrestleCenter if anything got leaked, I had to protect WrestleCenter in that situation. And then fast forward to just a couple of days ago, David Boyce approached me with more resistance. I asked him to do a project for me with regards to merch sales. I wanted to make some merchandise because, quite frankly, merch sales could potentially be the difference between taking a hit on a show or making a profit on a show. And companies throughout the entire world, not even beyond Atlanta, Canada, sometimes profit off of their merch sales more so than the live event because there's so many variables with a live event. You know, you have to pay flights, you have to pay the workers good wages for them to go out and perform. If you bring in a star, you know, they're not working for peanuts, they're working for a lot of money. You have to pay for hotel, there's advertising. For me personally, I produce a TV show, so there's a production expense. We have cameras, we have sound equipment, we have lights backstage for promos, we have everything, and everything adds up. Nothing is for free, no one works for free, and the equipment isn't free as well. So David Boyce had to understand, and this is where him and I lost track, the company has to make money for the company to succeed. That's what it comes down to, whether it's through ticket sales, merch sales, TV rights, whatever the case may be. The company has to make money, and that's what we were trying to do. That's what I was trying to do with this idea I had with David Boyce. David Boyce flat out refused to do the job that I asked him, quite frankly, the job that I paid him to do. And he's done this in the past. And in the past, I kind of swept it under the rug. I said, you know what? I kind of gave in to him, which in hindsight I probably should not have, but I respected Dave and I respected his opinion, and you know, that's just the kind of guy I am. However, this last time, after he brought up working for the competitor, I started to put things together. And fans, you guys are extremely smart. I don't think it's any coincidence, and I'm sure everyone can see this, that as of 2/19, he quits WrestleCenter, makes a big public post on Twitter. As of 3 o'clock, he's already tweeting about how there's the next chapter in his career, the next big thing is lined up for him. And that big thing happened to be the competitor that he was talking to me about 2 weeks ago. So there is no coincidence, and there's no way he can say that there's a coincidence between the two. I think he already had this lined up, and that's not a knock on my competitor. Kudos to them. Everything is business with regards to the companies or whatever the case may be. I do not take that personally. They were in a position where they recruited Dave Boyce as part of their team. Kudos to them for doing that. But the thing I take personal is David Boyce painting me as the bad guy and painting himself as the victim. I need to make sure it is 100% clear. David Boyce left WrestleCenter. WrestleCenter didn't leave David Boyce. He wasn't fired. There wasn't any situation where he was forced out of the company. There was nothing of the likes. David Boyce opted to no longer work for WrestleCenter. So him being the victim doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense because it is not true. I personally have gone to bat for David Boyce against when numerous wrestlers, numerous management within WrestleCenter, wherever the case may be, when they were against David Boyce, I went to bat for David Boyce. I defended David Boyce. And I took that chance because I respected him as what he was within the company, and I appreciated all of the hard work and, at the time, dedication that he gave to this company. He is a hard worker. I will never take that away from him. It is just extremely unfortunate that things turned out the way they turned out. I need you all to understand that through this whole situation, WrestleCenter has always been top of mind to me. With that being said, I am proud to tell each and every single one of you watching this video that internally, WrestleCenter has never been stronger. Our wrestlers have never been more dedicated to their craft for your enjoyment and entertainment. They are training at our brand new training facility night and day for the huge events coming up on June 5th and June 6th. For the very first time ever in WrestleCenter history, WrestleCenter goes on the road, and we are coming in the Kentville on June 6th. We're extremely excited about this happening. If any of you who were a part of the Kentville June 6th WrestleCenter event page, if you received a cancellation notification, please ignore it. It was David Boyce being immature about the situation that came about. He deleted both event pages that he created for WrestleCenter, the Halifax and the Kentville event pages. And to me, that is a direct hit on my product. That is a direct hit on my company, because for some reason, a company that he promoted mere days ago, even hours before he quit, a company he was proud of, a company he promoted, and a company he boasted about, in less than 24 hours, that company is no longer one that he boasts about, and one that he, in my opinion, wants to see die for one reason or another. But he does not have the best interest of WrestleCenter, and quite frankly, for those of you who enjoy WrestleCenter, he wants to take that away from you. And the WrestleCenter roster, and everyone else involved in WrestleCenter will not allow that to happen. I assure you that WrestleCenter is going to be stronger than ever, with its biggest events still ahead of it, and WrestleCenter will only continue to grow. WrestleCenter Voltage has been picked up for a third season on Bell Community 1, and WrestleCenter shows no signs of slowing down, albeit any of the circumstances that has happened. Sadly, Dave was one of the ones who wore one of many hats within WrestleCenter, and because he quit the company, we had to replace that position, and that is exactly what we have done. It's onwards and upwards for WrestleCenter. I hope to see you on June 5th in Halifax at the Halifax Forum, featuring Shelton Benjamin and Johnny Mundo, and bring that same chair to Kentville on June 6th, and I will be there as well, when John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, invades Kentville for the very first time, when we take Voltage TV on the road.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We are live for the very first episode of Ask 'em Ref Wrestling Talk Show. I'm Josh Ruckstall, your host, and joining me tonight is the man, the myth, the legend, David Boyce. Welcome, David.
Am I on?
You are on.
I don't see my ugly face.
It's on a little bit of a delay.
Oh. Hey!
There I am.
Oh, I am a delay.
All right, so. Wow.
Hey.
How's she going, David?
Good. I won't be able to watch this because it'll make me dizzy.
I don't blame you. I don't watch myself neither. It's just a subconscious thing. So, you went to Vegas this year. How was that?
It was awesome. We went up to the Cauliflower Alley Club convention, the 50th anniversary. Me and James, Tommy Starr, Justin, and Gary Williams. It was amazing. If you guys are wrestling fans, join the CAC. Go to Vegas. It's something I can't even explain. The legends that I met those 4 days, just interacting with them. The convention itself, the banquets, the seminars. Jake Roberts' seminar was one of the highlights. It was awesome.
Jake Roberts, a man that this summer is going to IHW, am I correct?
He is. September the 11th and 12th is their 10-year anniversary. The 11th show is at the Moncton Lions Club for sure. The 12th is to be determined, I guess. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. So, how'd you get started in this wrestling business?
About a year and a half ago, a friend of mine, Dave Lowe's referee, I noticed some posters, ironically enough, around town about this WrestleCenter show with AJ Styles. Got a hold of Dave. I was like, is there anything I can do? I'd love to join a wrestling company. It's been a dream of mine. I never tried to become a member of any wrestling companies before that. I don't know where that came from, but he put me in contact with Jason Mosier. Jason said, hey, send me a resume. I thought, what better resume than to create a character and throw some videos up, which I essentially learned was completely wrong to do. And anyway, come a few days before the show, they were with a ring announcer, and they asked me if I'd try that. And I said, sure, I'd do anything. And I did the ring announcing that night. Nervous as hell, as I am now.
Well, I can imagine Wrestle Centers had phenomenal sellout crowds from the beginning, and it's no difference now.
The fans there are awesome.
So do you have any cool stories? I know you were in charge of picking up guys, and is there any cool like backstage stories that you have?
Backstage is backstage. What happens there stays there. Kind of like Vegas, you brought up earlier. Pick up talent. I've only been. I only did that the one time, and that was the last show. Usually Justin does that, but Justin's a busy man, so I had to go to the airport to pick up Matt Sydal and Samoa Joe. Matt Sydal came out first. I was a little taken back by how small he was. I almost walked by him. Chit chat with him. Samoa Joe was being held up in customs for a long period of time. So, time went on. I was like, oh, he's got to be coming soon. So what I'll do is I'll go get my car and pull up front of the airport. And by then he should be out and you guys can just jump in the car. So I pull up. No Matt Sydal, no Samoa Joe. So I got out for a second, ran in. Matt was standing there, and I said, is Joe coming? And he's like, yeah, he should be here any second. And I said, okay. I said, I'm just parked outside, and I'll wait for you. Turned around, and my car was up in a tow truck. And this was, I literally was in the airport for 3 minutes, and the show was like an hour and a half away. Matt Sydal had a meet and greet that he had to go to, and there's my car up in the tow truck. So I took off, jumped over the cement barrier there, and pleaded my case for the guy to put it down. Thankfully, apparently his son was a referee for wrestling years ago. He asked me who I was picking up. I was like, Samoa Joe and Matt Sydal. And he was like, oh. And then they came out, so he dropped my car down, and off we went.
Well, sounds like wrestling saved your hind there.
Yeah, thank God, eh? Everyone's a wrestling fan, deep down. Closet fans.
Is there anything you're going to be missing about the Wrestle Center atmosphere at all, or?
Well, the fans in Halifax are awesome. I'm gonna miss that. I like performing. It was a lot of fun. It was a dream of mine to work for a wrestling company. I still am, technically. Most of the talent I'll see. A lot of them are my friends. A lot of them wrestle in Moncton, so hopefully one of these days I'll take the trip up to see one of their shows. I'm pretty excited to see how another company works, and by everything I hear it's great. But yeah, I'm gonna miss giving out posters. I guess that gimmick pretty well is gone with my job. So yeah, I mean the fans, I met a lot of them. I got to know a lot of them, and I guess yeah, that's what I'm gonna miss the most.
Fair enough.
With IHW, I'm not going to be ring announcer or anything like that. I'm just, from the comforts of my home, I'm taking over their social media and just helping them promote that their product with social media. I do that on the side with lots of things. I do like union website, Twitter accounts, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of a part of wrestling still, but sitting on my sofa drinking coffee.
Will you be going down to attend any of the IHW shows, or?
Yeah. I'm originally from Spring Hill, which is about 40 minutes from Moncton. So, if I'll make it like a 2-part trip. Get to go home and see my sister, and keep going to Moncton and check it out. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to try to go to the June 13th show actually next week. So we'll see. But if not, I'll definitely try to get to one of them. Sounds
good. I know the days leading up to, what was your decision to leave Wrestle Center probably were very thoughtful days. What was going through your head leading up to that moment?
It wasn't a long thought process. It actually kind of just happened last Thursday morning out of the blue. I'm not going to get into mudslinging and stuff. I know about the whole video today, and it is what it is. I'm 42 years old. I don't need that stuff. I yell at my kids for doing stuff like that. So I'm not going to partake in whatever happened today. I got a lot of nice messages from people. They know the truth, so I'm not going to lower myself. In a nutshell, last Thursday morning started like pretty well all my mornings when I'm off work. I get up, take my kids to school, have a pot of coffee, sit down, and do some social media stuff. Usually my former boss, I guess you call him, is online, so we talk a little bit about stuff like concerning Russell Center at the time. In a nutshell, he asked me to make a couple of 8x10s of John Morrison and Shelton Benjamin to give the VIP ticket holders for them to get signed, which I said, yeah, I'll be right back. Did that, give them to him. Then he, like I said, I'm not going to get into details. In a nutshell, he asked me to make some merchandise to sell. I simply said I would as long as the boys got the money, in which he questioned my loyalty to the business, the company, and not the boys. I took offense to that, not only questioning my loyalty after what I've done for the last year and a half with them. I'll toot my own horn, I don't care. But I'm not, I'm loyal to me. I'm one of the boys. I don't wrestle, but I tend to think whatever. So anyway, I just simply waited a few seconds to let it sink in, and I simply just wrote back, you know what, thank you so much for the opportunity. I've never had my loyalty questioned in my life. So with that, thank you again, best wishes with Wrestle Center, and today will be my last day. And he simply just wrote back, okay, thanks for your contributions. And that's the last interaction I had with him. Within 2 hours, I was blocked from the Wrestle Center site. I was blocked from the Twitter account. I was deleted and blocked from his personal account, which bothered me because I thought, even though I quit, we're still friends, but apparently not. And that's why, by the way, he doesn't see the events. I did not cancel them. He just can't see them because he blocked me. So anyway, little Facebook 101 for you, Jason Mosier. But anyway, I'm done. I've moved on. I hope and wish he did. He's been writing stuff about me for the last week, and put that energy in promoting your show. That's all I can say. I'm happy. I've moved on. I'm with starting my new thing with IHW, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Well, it seems like we're seeing a different side of Jason Mosier come this event, almost a Vince McMahon-esque type of persona coming out of him. And it sounds like there's no hardship from your end of the conversation here. There's no hardship, and we could be seeing you at Wrestle Center shows supporting local indie wrestling.
Oh, I'd love to go. I'm not going to this show, of course, because the fans will probably then think, oh, this is all the work. There's Dave in the crowd. He's gonna whatever. But no, it's my birthday weekend. Me and my wife are going to go do something else, and I'm going to miss my first Wrestle Center show in a year and a half. But it's all good. Life goes on, and
well, if you come
I wish them nothing but the best. I mean, at the end, it's the boys. They need a place to work. The most talented bunch of guys I've ever met. They're the brotherhood in the backstage is just something I've never experienced before until I got there, and it's that's what I'm going to miss. I'll see them outside of wrestling, but I'll miss that stuff.
And if you're looking for something to do, it's Apple Blossom Weekend here in the Valley, and we've got we actually have 2 wrestling shows in the Valley this weekend. We've got the May on a Mission, which I'll be attending tomorrow night in Kingston, and then we've got Atlantic Grand Prix the next night in Berwick. So lots of indie wrestling is popping up everywhere now, and I feel like it's going to become like a big trend coming around here as indie wrestling becomes more popular.
Yeah, and the more companies, the better, because the guys have more places to work. Like this whole foolishness that, if you work there, you can't work here. I mean, give me a break. It's, it's maritime wrestling. Let the boys work. I don't see Jason was saying today that Wrestle Center and IHW is competition. Well, I don't think it is. IHW is in Moncton, New Brunswick, and they're here in Halifax, and apples and oranges, like, you know. But the most upsetting thing about that whole video for me was he did pronounce Johnny Mundo's name right.
Well, I'm glad to see.
Say his name right.
Well, I'm glad to see that you've kept your wits on the whole situation, and you haven't let a few bad apples who strongly take sides. I'm a wrestling fan. Other people's business is their business. But as an interviewer, I kind of wanted to see both sides of the story, so I asked you here tonight to share what you wanted to share, which you did. And
yeah, it's kind of ironic, because I think one of the first messages I sent you this morning was, unless you ask me, I don't want to talk about WrestleCenter.
This is true.
Something happened, you know, my news feed started popping up like crazy around 3 o'clock, and I was like, oh God, what happened? And I went on, and I had a few messages about the video, but anyway.
Well, I received multiple messages about the video asking, oh my goodness, is he still going to be in the interview after that slamming? Is he still... And I was just like, this is just business. It's two guys. It's their business. I'm just talking. I'm going to have a conversation with David, and he's going to talk about what he's going to talk about.
Well, I mean, in all fairness to Jason, he probably thought I was going to come on and slam WrestleCenter, which I wouldn't. I mean, I haven't talked about WrestleCenter since the day I quit. I don't know how he was saying I was playing the victim. All I did was announce I was quitting. So I don't know where that came from. A lot of it was just, you know, the promoter protecting his business, and that's fine. You know, you shot the gun, you put out your video, and, you know, that was all. It was entertaining.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the show, David. I hope to bring you back here soon. Maybe with maybe one or two of your IHW wrestlers to promote one of your upcoming shows in the near future, since you are the social media guy. And I kind of think I'm social media.
Am I social media guy? Like, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you're what? So. You're the social network.
Oh, for them. Yeah. Again, they said that I joined them 2 weeks ago, which, again, I didn't. I do social media for all kinds of people. I do it for, like I said, union companies. I do it for the nursing home. I do it for wrestling companies. I do it for friends. I actually run their Twitter account and just write as if I'm them. So 2 weeks ago, IHW, you know, I'm friends with, just because it's a different company. I can still talk to people. And they're like, you know, we're looking into revamping our Twitter account, and we hear that you're good at that. Do you mind helping us out? And I was like, yeah, of course. You know, I wasn't going to spill beans about WrestleCenter secrets. Like, so I created their Twitter account for them, and I just simply put up a post, and within 2 minutes, I was contacted by Jason to ask me if I was running it, and I was like, yeah, I'll just give them a hand. And he asked me if I was going to do the graphics and stuff. I was like, no, nothing like that. And he was like, oh, good, because I wouldn't allow it. And that was the end of that. But no, I didn't join IHW 2 weeks ago and plan this devious quitting WrestleCenter. Silly wrestling.
From an outside, with the craziness that is wrestling, it looks like it is set up. It looks like a storyline right now with the.
Well, it does.
It does, and
it does,
I think some people. Pardon?
It's just, exactly, because they just did a similar story with JP.
And then in New Brunswick, they did the same thing with Dick Durning, with the Dick Durning messages coming out every so often, and I think people are jumping harshly because they think it's two characters when really it's real life, and real life is happening right now. I
mean, at the end of the day, and I'm not going to short sell myself, but I'm a ring announcer, so I don't think they're going to go into the elaborate story that the ring announcer quit. Like who cares? You know, they have a new ring announcer apparently already, so like all the best to him. You know, I'm sure him or her, whoever it is, will be just great.
Perfect. Well, once again, thank you, David, and I look forward to chatting with you in the near future. Oh, yes,
local wrestling.
Promote local wrestling, Scotia Strong style. Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was David Boyce. Let me know what you think of the altercation, well, not altercation, but my conversation with David. Did you get out of what you thought you were going to get, or was it a lot more docile than what we thought we were going to see from David? Let me know in the chat, boys. Now, moving onwards from chatting with David Boyce here, lots of things going on in the Valley, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, East Coast in general, when it comes to maritime wrestling. Right now, we've got May on a Mission going on. They're Yarmouth tonight, and then we got Atlantic Grand Prix, who are making their summer tour. Wrestle Center has 2 shows coming up, one in Kentville, one in Halifax, and IHW has their show June 13th. Lots of wrestling coming up in the next 2 weeks, and we're going to get you all caught up on that. If you feel like calling in and talking, my Skype name is 3Count Wrestling. Send me a request and I will answer your call. Dylan Sharp rules. Well, I don't know, man. I was at WWE Live with Dylan Sharp, and I don't know, he's kind of, I don't know. All right, so we're gonna go over the events coming up in the next 2 weeks, boys, because by this time next week, these shows will have happened. IHW is having a show with Titus versus Brody Steele, Remy Petit versus, is it double XL now, or is it just, or what is it? Let me know on that, because Izzy dropped the name of double XL. We got Fantana versus Chip Chambers. Also in attendance will be Marcus Burke, Dick Durning, Greaser James Carr, Shane Stevens, and Julian Young. The Wrestle Center in Halifax will be Morrison versus Burke, Benjamin versus Young, Double XL versus Nick Diggs, and JP is supposed to speak out. We also just had a recent announcement that the students will also be in attendance in a match making their Wrestle Center debut. Congratulations to them. All right, thank you. It's Double XL in IHW, and it's Steve Arsenault in Wrestle Center. And then the following night for Wrestle Center is John Morrison versus Titus in Kentville with Double XL. Oh, sorry, Steve Arsenault and Marcus Burke. And we also have Dick versus Julian, and Fantana versus Shane Stevens. Rick Doyle will be honored by the town of Kentville after that, at that event as well. Like I said, if you want to call in, definitely give me a call in here. Just send me a Skype request. The name is 3Count Wrestling, and you can call in with your thoughts on my interview with Mr. Boyce. Then we got NWE Wrestling and Miramichi. We got a Heath. Heath is going to be there. Deuce, Carter, Nightmare, and K.I. Real. May on a Mission, boys. They're making their way to Halifax here this weekend. Definitely get out and check them out. Support your local indie wrestling. They're going to be in Kingston on Friday, which is tomorrow, with David Boyce Smith Jr., Harry Smith, and Sir Mo. Also, the Boston bad boy, Jason Rumble. So let's take some questions from you, the fans here. General Deuce, I've seen him live with XWA. He was a great worker, great hard worker, nice guy too. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber. That's going to be a sick pay-per-view. I don't know what it is, but since WrestleMania, WWE's really stepped up their pay-per-view game with 2 lackluster pay-per-views before. Ever since has been, in my opinion, just great entertaining action. The one thing I would have changed was make the Rollins match, Elimination Chamber match, with Ambrose, Orton, throw Kane in there as protection for Rollins, and then you'd have, wow, I'm at a loss for words, boys. Kevin Tyler, you missed David Boyce. You just missed him. Sorry about that. No one needs to see Kane, but he does add that extra oomph to Seth Rollins' character. So I would like to see Reigns, Rollins, Kane, Ambrose, Orton, and what do we need? One more? Just throw in, I don't know. Just throw anybody in the mix and it would have been perfect. But instead we're having Ambrose versus Rollins, and then an Elimination Chamber match of Rusev, Ziggler, Ryback, Barrett, Sheamus, and R-Truth. Cena versus Owens. Oh yeah, Big Show and Kane are the future. Very well put. Cena versus Owens is interesting. I'd like to see, my opinion, see Owens take it and not even bring the US title to NXT and not even use it. Just he just doesn't care about it. He holds the NXT title higher than US title. And then we got Neville versus Dallas and Nikki, Paige, and Naomi. Boring. Alright, so let me know what you think. Also, the whole ROH Destination America thing. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you like the stream, boys, hit that heart button down at the bottom. Greatly appreciate it. Also, get active in chat so we can have a nice, I really hope that, not just Cena squashing Owens match. It shouldn't be. I really believe that Owens, the whole NXT roster is the future of WWE, obviously. And it's just really good to see that they're trying to push them in that direction. Please, they're not NXT divas. Paige is the only good one out of those three, in my opinion. So definitely get out there, support your local indie wrestling, boys. I'm just watching for Paige. Yeah, get out there, support local indie wrestling. We've got tons of it here. See Nikki Mountain Paige. You might never know, boys. As we saw in Chris Jericho's hacked Twitter, WWE is now doing porn. If anybody got to see any of those tweets, they were absolutely phenomenal. You wouldn't find any greater Twitter hacking tweets anywhere else. That is what is, second to none. It is going to be a Big Show return, probably. But who would he? I can see him returning, and then Reigns coming down to defend Ambrose. If anybody would like to call in and just chat about what they heard from David Boyce, let me know. Add me on Skype. Kevin Tyler, I find just support your local indie wrestling. They're the ones paying. They're the ones paying the workers, giving them experience, giving them matches, and I go there. I go to see wrestling, any wrestling, to support the workers, because 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, they're great guys, and they're doing it because they love it. That's why I go to see local wrestling. I'm going to be at, pretty much, I'm going to see a Male on a Mission Tour show. I'm going to see a Atlantic Grand Prix show. And then I'm going to Wrestle Center on Friday and Saturday. So anything Nova Scotia has to offer, I will be attending. Looking forward to it. Before I go, I just want to get everyone's opinion on who they would like to see, or who they think they're going to see in the Tough Enough campaign there, Tough Enough show. Let me know who you think you're going to see in Tough Enough. Also, if anybody out there would like to be on the show as a co-host, a guest, if you're a wrestler or a promoter, you want to be a guest, let me know. Just send me a message on Facebook. I'm Joshua Ruckstall. I'm the one that's self-promoting my my channel. Hey, Frankie McDonald is a Nova Scotian landmark. Don't go making fun of Frankie McDonald. Alright, boys. So that is it. Thank you for coming out for the very first episode of 3 Count Wrestling's Ask Him Ref Wrestling Talk Show. My name is Josh Ruckstall. It is a pleasure to be here chatting with you and getting the questions that you so want from who I interview. So this is Ruckstall 19 signing out.